Zabu allows you to buy or sell securities on the Altex exchange from anywhere in Uganda via USSD. Step 1. To buy, dial star 292 hash. Step 2. Select buy. Step 3. Select the product you would like to buy. For example, bonds. Step 4. Select your preferred maturity year. Step 5. Select the bond you would like to buy. Step 6. Input an amount of 15,000 Ugandan shillings or more. Step 7. Your order has been forwarded for processing. And finally, Step 8. Your order has been confirmed.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. This is your daily Kickstarter, and today, of course, it is Tuesday. Of course, I'm joined by Andrew Bariche with us.
Well, then let's get straight to our social media trends as we take a look at what's really trending. Well, there has been something that has been making rounds since yesterday, and now, well, some investors came out to say that, that wasn't right, don't discredit whatever you have been observing, and that was something to do with the courses that had expired from some of the universities. And this is at Blesomo. Yes, after applying for expired courses at Makerere, well, there's something in there that is moving, and yeah, but so many people made rounds about this very matter. Some students felt a little bit, frustrated in terms of what was really happening there, and that is exactly what we are observing.
Of course, there have been memes made for these courses that have expired. We see a lady from graduating from a helicopter, and it was quite funny. The memes, the trolling, and all that. But we believe that this will be looked into because the National Council for Education said it will come and verify if it's true or not. Whoever started it, they will give us feedback on what is actually true. And this is a small it said that Makerere University recently admitted fresh students on the same expired courses. That is quite true. Of course, I think they will continue with their courses, but of course those that will come in later on, the vacants that now that are in vacation, I think they will have to enroll in the courses that are right on the list.
Universities have come out to disclaim all that, saying that their courses are actually up-to-date.
Valid.
According to, I don't know how credible that is, but shall be getting to see how this really comes out. But taking a look at here, this doesn't mean that these courses, the reason why they expired, it's they're basing on the international market, the demand from the international market. But of course in Uganda, it might still be okay for you. You can, but of course you have to think life beyond this country. Now this is at Zero Brain, says that Makerere retired my degree before hanging me. Was this trying to say hanging? Before hanging me that certificate. So ideally, I'm uneducated. You are supposed to say hanging me.
I think people have taken it in a wrong way. The fact that they may not be up to standard in the, in the international universities, it doesn't mean you are uneducated, you do not qualify. I mean, there are other companies that are up for such people that have gone for certain degrees. So don't lose hope. Okay, you can get a job and get employed, so definitely there is no cause for alarm. In Uganda you may work it out, but maybe elsewhere it may be problematic because you'll have to go in for further study, or maybe you have to upgrade. I think that's the only concern here, that in other universities internationally our courses are not, we're phased out actually.
Some of them.
This is the Kabarore Finest, says at Kabarore Finest Prince, he says, I think I think you can see what I went through to come and do an expired course at Makerere. Before we fear women, let us fear Uganda first. This is cool. This is funny.
Very funny.
This is funny. Anyway, on top of fearing women, we have to fear Uganda as well.
Yeah.
I can see here that there is a picture of a teacher with logs of sticks.
Now this is that Noah Richard says that at least for Makerere University now, imagine other universities where students are admitted with 2 points, and of course, which courses are they studying? Of course, government should check on them. So that was something also there too. So funny to really look into that, and well, it has caused quite lots of rounds here. I don't know what you think about that if you were a victim of that particular aspect, realizing that actually your course is among those courses that expired. What really came into your mind? But of course, the university chancellors are trying to, there is what they call damage control. Exactly, that's what exactly they are trying to do,
But you see, Andrew,
to comfort the students.
I feel like, you know, if you're concerned about your course being expired, you can always upgrade. You know, you can start over. You can do a certificate. You know, just to, you know, fit in. You know, and don't feel the void of your course being among the expired ones. You could actually, it could be an opportunity for you to do something bigger for yourself. Okay, so this one is Becky Rebecca Yen. She says, I thought these expired courses are only at Makerere universities. Wow, there were a number of universities lined up, Uganda Christian universities, actually to go to bits of universities that were affected.
Very true. Very absolutely true there. And now this is Emma Love says that Makerere University students who are studying expired courses, reading for their forthcoming exams and also doing some retakes in it.
I saw something funny. Imagine having retaken in an expired course.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, that's what life has brought to you. That's what life has presented to you. So you gotta take it. Yeah. And now this is Adjuster, only 2, says that imagine you going to your bank to bank your 3 million institution out of the blue. Makerere University says expired course. Wow.
But I feel like National Council for Education should come and clarify, and you know, people are giving in their views, people are in fear, people, you know, some students, I feel like they are thinking of, you know, I think maybe I offered the wrong course. I think I should go back and do more studying, which could be an opportunity actually in disguise, because you can upgrade, you can do a more, you know, sensible course.
What's sensible?
I mean, not the not the expired courses. I mean, not the ones on the list.
Every course is sensible, Marcy. Every course.
Is
an overstatement.
Yeah, I mean,
my apologies. My apologies.
But anyway, it's undermining the fact that with the number of courses that have been highlighted as expired, you get to realize that maybe we really need to revise. Now imagine a parent who is going to sponsor a child who has already selected one of the expired courses. You wonder why we have courses that expire, yet the jobs that are available never expire, and still seek for these qualifications. But of course, as the National Council for Higher Education continues to review this particular incident, and of course they are trying to review these expired courses according to what was revealed by a university in the United Kingdom. This is where all this is actually coming from. And of course, then the Cambridge curriculum also revealing these courses in regards to the fact that most of them do not meet international standards, and so that means the National Council for Higher Education has to follow up on the same matter. But of course, as we are heading into our next from the business trends this morning, remember now that the Zabo markets are officially opened, and you can easily get in touch with the platform by investing with just a minimum of 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now past
No
17
data,
minutes.
no
The
problem.
market's officially
Zabu,
at 15 minutes past 8 o'clock. So quickly kickstart off your investment with the Zabu platform. And of course, Zabu is powered by Altex East Africa, which reminds you to do something new. Now, with something new can you do today? Investing in government bonds and, of course, other securities. Zabu, my money, my future. Altex East Africa says do something new. Markets open at 8:15 a.m. and closing time at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Only fully closed during the weekends and also on the public holidays. Zabu, my money, my future. Well, of course, now our focus stands onto the national budget for the next financial year, 2023-2024. This time round, looking at agro-industrialization and how much money is likely to get into the sector, it being a program-based budget. The breakdown is still up there. And of course, according to what Parliament passed, 52.7 trillion budget is likely what we are meant to face for 2023-2024. But Richard Andrew, agro-industrialization in this context, as we speak value, adding value to our agricultural products. Now here we are with the agro-industrialization in the picture.
Yeah, of course, with agriculture, it's quite really very evident. We've seen quite a series of agriculture-related outreaches that are being done, most especially the areas that is in the northern region, that is in the Karamoja region. And actually recently, just actually yesterday, some of the stakeholders were urging to have really a really structured approach towards Karamoja when it comes to agriculture, because the few programs that have been established in Karamoja recently are providing quite something very positive when it comes to the rate at which people are reaching out to adapt to agriculture, and that is something that is very, very evident. President Yoweri Museveni recently still was in the north, one of the districts, some name which has skipped my mind, but of course emphasizing value addition in terms of, as a way that we can really enhance our competitiveness on the global market when it comes to agricultural outputs. So value addition is really something very key, and also the fact that some of these players, some of these, can I say, farmers, they really need to adapt what we call the mindset change when it comes to how they approach the farming aspect. I know majority of them are frustrated, of course, based on probably changes in seasons. And now that's why there is this whole aspect of mechanization. So the budget, I really believe this is a sector that should really not be taken out for granted, as we are to take a look at what was really allocated for it, in estimations for the financial year 2023-2024. Of course, the stakeholders, the key players, can I call them patriots of the sector, call for additional funding when it comes to this, because when they look at the change, because if you to look at the share of the total annual budget estimates in the agro-industrialization, it's at 3.39%, and of course, taking a look, if you to compare the approved budget of 2020 to 2023 and compare the one for 2023-2024, you realize that the addition is very, very, it's minimal, actually, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm seeing here a figure that really portrays that there was a slight, there was an increase, but very, very, very minimal, according to the potential this sector really has towards to transform this economy, and also the fact that the programs which have been carried out by government, of course we cannot put aside the NRM wealth creation agenda, which also was looking at agriculture, value addition, something which has been quite really been picked positively. And the North is actually picking up. I'm not going to be surprised if a few years to come from now, if we just keep on this trend, the North will really be some area that can stand an agricultural powerhouse. Because why? They're emphasizing modernization, mechanization, and these people seem to be very positive because we know them to be very hardworking people there. Yeah, that's what I can really say about this whole aspect. And when these funds are allocated, it's also important to understand what are the areas of priority. What are those? Because some of the areas which might seem priority, if you really examine the rate at which the intake is really, like what I'm trying to mean, the rate at which the netizens are embracing the move, the agriculture aspect, will, I believe, should be a determinant to where the funds should be allocated the most. But the northern region has been picking up really quite very positive.
Well, of course, agro-industrialization as well. The focus, again, takes us to understand why the government is not putting a lot of focus in what we call as the backbone of our economy. Because if we were to look at priorities, I think agro-industrialization is among the priorities here, and so should the allocations be.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you are looking at a priority like agro-industrialization, I want to believe we want to see that we now export our own readily available agro products, or we process our own agriculture.
And I think
products.
the government of Uganda has really tried to do that, because we've seen massive. Recently, we saw the agriculture minister.
Yes.
The agriculture minister giving out milk machines which preserve. So that was quite a bold move and a positive aspect in terms of agriculture, because the dairy farming, we have quite lots of potential and so many. I cannot. They're endless. We've seen seminars. Actually, there is a time where the Uganda Development Bank, in partnership with the Ministry of Investment, went to. Actually, they were with the State Minister for Investment, if I'm not mistaken, Evelyn Anite. They were in the north, and it was about helping farmers when it comes to loans, and all that. So it really shows you how government is deliberately pushing something from the north. Despite the allocation, the location of the area, it's some sort of a semi-arid area. But when we embrace mechanization, because how comes countries like Egypt do agriculture, countries like Libya do agriculture, how do they do it? Yet at least the semi-arid region of Uganda is not compared to the desert in the sub-Saharan area. So when we look at all these advantages, and also the aspect of the human labor, there people are willing to work, many don't have jobs, so this could be one of the ways that they can get out of poverty, so they have no choice but to get there. So I believe the government is really doing its best. At least we are seeing something taking place, and because of this, the members are also catching up this move very fast.
And well, of course, now let's look at the allocations for the same, that is for agro-industrialization, according to what the budget allocations are expected for the next financial year, according to what Parliament passed over last week.
Yes. Approved budget 2022-2023. That's the figures in there. I guess it's quite positive. Quite, but not the best. We need better than that. The allocation, based on what is happening within the country, to cater for all the people that have passion for this whole entirety, to be a part of it. The increase is there, but minimal, very minimal.
There is very minimal amount of money that is actually, slight increase of the money.
Very, very slight increase. Yeah. And just a share of total annual budget estimates of 3.39%. Well, you can get to see how all factors really here, which it seems to be a little bit very, very unfair. Let me say, I'll call it that. Because we didn't want to frustrate government programs. It will be very, very absurd when 2 years down the road, all these efforts done by government are in vain, and when you go down to the village, the farmer will tell you, we don't have money. We need money to modernize this agriculture, yet the money was supposed to be passed in the budget. Yeah.
Well, of course, as you can definitely see as well, the share of this particular incident is around 3%. And then also the annual budget estimates for the next financial year around 1,787.7. of the percentage points in there, and also the share of total annual budget estimates are 3.39%. So the slight change is around 288.41% in the, that is 288.41 in percentage format, around 19.24% of the same. The financial year 2023-2024 will be kicking off 1st July 2023, and of course bigger discussions have already kicked off here on the show in regards to what the allocations are up for in the next financial year 2023-2024. Meanwhile, after the break, when we do return, we've got sports business and entertainment business. Stick around with us. Good morning.
Smart 24, driving business.
My name is Kaheru Bright Bernard, a sales and marketing consultant with Bukona Agro Processors. Bukona Agro Processors is a local manufacturer of green energy, specifically ethanol, for clean cooking. The factory was established in 2013. Factory work started by 2019, and by 2020 we got support from government through Uganda Development Corporation to manufacture, further improve our production, manufacture stoves that would be used, that would use ethanol for clean cooking. So with that fuel, we're producing fuel, green fuel, with the bio stoves for clean cooking. And we are in a partnership with Glue Diocese